What's going on, beautiful people, and welcome to the only place in the universe that supplies you fuel for your dreams, goals, and entrepreneur ambitions for the free reality TV, people. And today, as you guys know, more of the story, we are going to talk about explaining, and over-explaining to your client because, we come here to, learn from Diante's lessons, right? For what he went through, so you guys don't have to go through that yourselves, guys. So check this out. One of my clients that I had about 2 years ago, guys, typically I have my buyer's consultations. Okay, guys, always have your buyer's consultations so you can not only explain what's going on in the market, get a feel for your client as well, but build that relationship, build that rapport, build that trust together, okay? So, part of my buyer's consultation, I go through the whole process of how you could potentially lose your escrow. Right? So here in Florida, you can lose your escrow if it goes past inspection period, if it goes past a financial contingency period, if it goes past appraisal period. Those are the three main ones that I make sure my people are always aware of, just so when those dates come up, we know, hey, this is what may or may not happen, worst case scenario, right? So the lesson that I learned with this is to not just have this conversation once. So prior, when I first got my license, once again, this was about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. I used to just have this conversation once, expect my people to remember this. So when these situations came up, right, I would think back, hey, we already had this conversation. It was good. So the story with this home, right, we got it under contract, great. There were some issues in regards to lending. At this time, underwriters were so backed up with things, we kept having to push back the closing date, right? So what ended up happening, we got to the point where we had to extend one more time. However, that extension ran up against our financial contingency. Right? So once your financial contingency is over, right, there is no way to get back that. I won't say no way, excuse me. It's very, 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 very hard to get your escrow money back because it's written out in the as-is contract in Florida, right? So went to my people, right, explained to them, hey, we're running up against our, financial contingency. The seller is not willing to extend that, but we can extend our closing, right? Are you guys okay with that? Understanding that if you guys do accept this, you do run the risk of losing your escrow money, right? Yeah, Diante, everything's okay. Everything's okay, right? So guess what happens? Everything that could go wrong went wrong. My people literally, they were out of their apartment the day we were supposed to close. The lender did not get us back, right, what we needed to close on the home. So they were asking for another extension. The seller was like, absolutely not. We're declining it. We're going to put it back on the market. So all pandemonium broke loose. In addition to that, the seller wanted to keep the escrow, right? So not only are my people, pretty much quote unquote homeless because they did not renew their lease. They're expecting to be on a new house, but they're also going to lose their down payment. I think at the time it was about $3,000 or $4,000, right? So that's a double whammy. So what ends up happening, guys, and it's just human nature. Okay, emotions get involved. They're like, Diante, and they didn't go crazy like this, but you can literally feel it. Like, Diante, who's responsible for this? How are we gonna get our money back? How did this happen? What's going on? And I'm not the type to point fingers, but it does feel horrible that that situation happened, right? So at one point, the seller wasn't giving our escrow money back. The buyer hired a lawyer, and we were going to go to blows, right? It was going to end up going to mediation, but luckily, thank God, this doesn't often happen, guys. Me and the listing agent were able to get together and was like, look, at the end of the day, you're going to get it under contract, right? My buyers are out of home right now. Just talk to your seller. Let us get the escrow money back at the end of the day, because it's going to cost both sides more money at the end of the day hiring lawyers to keep this escrow. So we were able to keep the escrow back, but the lesson that I learned is explain and over explain and explain as much as possible to your people. So that's now what I do. In addition to that, I've also created, and for all you realtors, you understand this, a drip campaign that as soon as we're under contract, my people also get videos of the entire process. So not only do they know once we had our buyer's consultation, throughout the process, we're talking all the time, but also in their emails, they're getting constant videos in regards to what they are currently going through to just jog their memories, okay? So don't make the mistake of what Diante did, okay? More of the story is explain every stage of the process, over explain so they're like, all right, I get it. You know what I'm saying? And it will save you guys tons of headache, tons of, just like, oh my God, just that feeling that you get, at least I get when, you feel responsible for something that, you should have had some systems in place to make sure that that problem doesn't happen. Okay, guys? So if you guys have any questions, any concerns about, contingencies or appraisal waivers or whatever you're going through, you guys know to reach out. My contact information is going to be in the description below. I need you to remember a few things though, okay? I need you to remember to dominate, okay? I need you to remember to dent the universe, all right? And always remember in real estate, there are only two people that can get you exactly what you want, okay? That's D and you. All right, peace.